When you first saw the Gracies fight, when you saw Royce, and I remember watching the early UFC fights, and to me, it was like such a surprise because you got this guy like Royce that's not physically really muscular or huge. He's like this big monster, but he was legitimately beating guys that were way bigger than him. Did you already know about that style before then, or was that kind of a surprise to you as well?
Yeah, it was humbling, for one, because I remember when we first did the event, and I came in from Japan and just defended my title. And then we came in, and I remember seeing a bunch of guys walk around. I knew one guy, Gerard Godot, and I was like, okay, there's my competition. That's who I've got to face. And then I saw other guys kind of walking around out of shape, and it just didn't look like that this was a big deal. And then I saw Royce walk around, and he had his gi on. And I always thought that was funny when somebody walked around with their gi. You're like, brother, come on, man, really? And I felt bad for him because he looked young and he was small. And I was like, this guy's going to get hurt. Like, what are they doing? Like, and then, of course, we did the fight. And, you know, I win my first one. And then Royce beats this boxer, Art Jimerson. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I blew that off. And Art's a great boxer, but he's in the wrong world here. Like, you know, he didn't belong there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I just brushed it off. And I was like, I'm going in this. And I got ground skills. I'm in Japan. I'm the champion. I'm going to hurt this guy. Like, I'm losing my head going, I'm waiting for Gerard already. I'm like, that's who I'm going to go against because he just knocked out the sumo. I go in there, and I remember going and shooting on him, and I go to take him down, and he just, like, spins, and, like there was no resistance whatsoever where I was struggling or any of that. It was so smooth and easy, but yet I'm, like, in bad position. I'm like, how did this happen? And then all of a sudden, I feel this thing around my neck. And I'm like, okay, because I'm a strong guy, I'll just pull it off. Well, there's nothing to pull off. There's nothing there that I can grab to pull off. And the next thing I know, I'm tapping, and I'm looking up, and I'm going, I just tapped. Like, I'm the champion in Japan. I just tapped. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, how did this happen? And I remember Royce pointing on me, you tapped. You tapped. And I'm thinking to myself, yes, I sure did, didn't I? This guy that I literally saw, and I mean, it was a humbling experience.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Royce use the gi as kind of like part of his weapons, sort of in a way, because you kind of grab onto it and use it to sort of maneuver?
It was crazy because I didn't understand it. And again, I know now, but I mean, when it happened, I had no clue. And then when it after the fact that it happened, and I remember thinking to myself, they took away my shoes. Like, they told me that was a weapon. I was like, how is a shoe a weapon? Whatever. And then and again, this was, you know, after we had fought, I'm thinking to myself, well, geez, I just got choked with his gi.
Yeah.
It's like, you mean I couldn't take the shoestring on my wrestling shoe and choke him with that? So it was, like I said, I believed that it really turned the world upside down when it came to combat sports.
Yeah.
There was, again, I thought it was brilliant what they did, you know, where they literally used this thing to put this thing that nobody had heard on, which is Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, on the map. And it really showed people, and what they were doing, I thought, was also pretty cool, because what they were doing was telling people, listen, you don't got to be angry, you don't got to be violent, and you don't got to be a fighter to be able to defend yourself with this style.
Yeah, I mean, gis are now illegal in the UFC, right?
Yeah.
You got to just come in with your shorts.
It's a little bit late for me,
yeah,
but
a little
hey.
late for you, but they figured it out at one point, like, okay,
Yeah.
let's get these gis out of here. No, I remember this, though. It was really like, I think that was almost what sold it in the beginning, was like, yo, you got this guy who's just beating people twice his size smoothly, without, you know, in a style that no one's ever seen before. And now it's almost, you know, a household name. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, like, everyone knows about it now. But at the time, it was brand new.
It's the number one, at least I think it is, but it's got to be the number one in self-defense as far as when people join for something for self-defense.
Yeah.
And so when you think about what they did, you can complain about it as a fighter all you want. Man, they set that up to be able to promote their, yeah. So